Welcome to Pure Mind Magic, the show to evolve your mind. Our mind is the most powerful thing we have, but no one teaches us how to use it. When we find out how, we're ready to create magic in life and in business. Learn real mindset secrets from brilliant minds around the world to change your mindset and income level forever. With every decision you make, you create your future. What is your next move? Now, welcome your host, international magician, speaker, and podcast performance consultant, Jennifer S. Royal.
Today, we are talking about Limitless. So I will introduce you to the movie Limitless and then give you some hints on what you can do to become limitless in real life. If you're new to this show, please subscribe. With that, you won't miss any of the new upcoming episodes. It's just one click for you to subscribe or follow, and you will always be updated. And also, when you enjoy this show or this very episode, I would be so happy if you could directly recommend it to a friend or just share it with a friend. Thank you so much for doing this. And also, when you are really into podcasting, I created a beautiful podcast listening journal that you can get from Amazon. So you can keep all your ideas that you get from podcast listening in one place. Maybe some big business ideas, who knows? So you have everything there and know exactly what you listen to, where, and when. So there will be a link in the show notes for this episode. Now, let's talk about Limitless. I guess most of you have seen the movie already, starring Bradley Cooper. If you haven't, I highly recommend you do. I will also leave a link to the movie trailer in the show notes below this episode. So basically the story is about, let's say, magic pill, NCT, and Bradley is an author who doesn't get his book finished. So he's really desperate. He is like really out of shape, out of mind, and just can't get it done. So for himself, he thinks that the secret to finish the book is just staying in his room until the book is done. But you know, it's not going to work like this, especially when you're trying on pressure to be creative. So he also gets dumped by his girlfriend, and then by accident in New York City, he runs into an old friend, and this friend offers him this kind of magic pill to unlock the dormant part of his brain. Meaning he would be able to access like 100% of his capacity and would be able to remember everything he has ever learned and connected, and also be very sharp. Of course, Bradley thinks about taking this drug, so in his mind, and he gets involved in some dangerous situations as well. And finally, he decides to take the drug. And what's happening then is really amazing. So in the movie, you can see a complete color change, a change in his posture, how he speaks, how he looks in his eyes. So I won't spoiler what's happening then. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, then please do so. I'm sure you will get a lot of inspiration out of this. And the movie is really related to this podcast and on how we can use our mind in, let's say, a more magical way to create magical results in the end. So this is a good inspiration about it. So check this out. And as promised, we will talk about now on how to use this kind of effect in real life. I found out that there are some people on the internet, especially on YouTube, that are kind of obsessed with this movie and are looking for everything that could come close to this pill called NCT in the movie, this small transparent pill. And there are some ways on what you can do to be more present, more focused, more productive, and being able to absorb information better into your mind and also to transform the information and really getting the results you are looking for. And of course, there are some, let's say, pills out there, like legitimate pills that you can get just from Amazon, like some extra nutrition, like in case you would take in some whey protein pills or other capsules to improve your workout. So nothing to worry about. I mean, always when you're unsure of something, I would highly suggest you consult your doctor before you do. But I just think these pills are, quite all right. And they enhance your brain power. They have really, really good reviews. So I checked a lot of them. So one has about more than 2,000 reviews and 4.5 out of 5 stars on, as I said, improving your brain power, making you more concentrated, improving your memory and all these other mental tasks. So I haven't ordered them yet, but I also thought I will do this and experiment with it and let you know. So there will be a link to 2 versions below this episode in case you would like to try for yourself and see what's happening. But now let's get into the concrete tips I gathered together for you. So it is basically a very fascinating thought when you think you actually would be able to remember just everything you ever learned or spotted anywhere, and you would be able to access all this information really at will, and not only when you are under hypnosis, what works to a certain extent there really well, and also being so sharp, noticing everything that's going on around you. So magicians to a certain degree do this as well, or have to, because we are really trained in that while we are performing, to see what everyone is doing on the table where they are looking, to have this kind of control. And sometimes it's really exhausting, costs a lot of energy, but in the movie it's really like being in this flow and everything is so easy. And with this concept, we would come close to quantum physics here to make that happen, to enjoy this enormous clarity and really turn the process around and making things come to us in the end of, instead of chasing them all around. So there's also this magic principle, because the magician is normally the audience at least 1, when not 3 steps ahead. So this is how illusions are created for entertainment purpose. And this is why I like this term of magic pill. The cool thing in the movie also is that Bradley knows in every second exactly what to do next after taking this pill. And I'm sure a lot of us would love to be in this state of being able to exactly know what you should do next, because sometimes we are sitting there and considering option A, option B, what to do, and it's really time consuming, and probably in the end, when we overthink, instead of listening to our intuition, we come up with the wrong decision that gets us not the results we had in mind first. So I think this is a really cool option that would bring. But now, finally, let's go over to the benefits. How can you actually enhance the power of your brain with natural stimulus or just natural effects? So I put together 9 tips for you. Tip number 1, oxygen. Our brain really needs oxygen to operate well. So it helps to move outdoors, and sometimes you can even get like an additional oxygen treatment in some places. And I know that Formula 1 drivers do that to be in this super aware and highly concentrated state while driving the race. So pretty cool. I was testing that before I got my diploma, so that's kind of cool, and it brings you really this amazing awareness. And it's just oxygen, and there are so many breathing techniques out there, from fire breathing to breathings where you have to count, then the Wim Hof breathing, and all of that finally enhances the volume of oxygen that we get into our body, and especially in our brain. And you know what happens when the oxygen flow to our brain is cut off. So this is a certain reason to die. So turn it around and see that you can get more oxygen, especially really good oxygen, as I said, when you're out, when you're in nature, when you are at the ocean, or at least open your windows from time to time to get this oxygen in. Number 2, learn a lot. This means read as many books as you can, and also books on subjects you have never read before. Listen to audiobooks wherever you go. You can turn your car into a school or a university by listening to the audiobooks while you are stuck in traffic. Seminars are also a good option to go maybe on the weekend, and this is another thing where you can meet some great people in kind of a mastermind. This is helpful, so you get a lot for doing this. And we know, I mentioned this several times in the podcast, that some of the most successful people on this planet, they all have their own library at home with a ton of books. And I had this gentleman on the show, Dr. Danny, and he also said, whatever you read more. And it's so true. There are so many amazing books out there. I don't know how many new books come out every year, and now with self-publishing and Kindle ebooks, it's even easier. So check what's interesting for you, or what you ever wanted to learn, and start there. Get some expertise in this field by reading and by listening to audiobooks, or even go to seminars, or in best case, do all three of them. Because obviously, the more knowledge you have, the more connections you can build, the more things and opportunities you can see around you, and you will be ahead of everyone else. Because most people are not doing it, they're just sitting down or watching like TV series or TV shows or whatever, instead of reading and acquiring new knowledge. Number 3, meditate. Meditation and being mindfulness also enhances your awareness and helps you to gain this clear focus without being distracted, to be able to be very present and very focused while you are learning new things. This is also a skill most of the very successful people do, and say that it really helps them to release stress, get focused, and get really centered to themselves, with blocking the outer world out for some time and really concentrating on the inner world and the creativity, on what you would like to manifest next. Number 4, surround yourself with people that are smarter as you. Brings us back to this term I mentioned, I lost the word now. Mastermind. Now, yes, the mastermind group, meaning you can do this. There are some free options out there and also paid options where you pay a lot to get access. This is because they would like to keep this group very close and very high level. So there are some that start around $20,000 to get just in there and being able to talk with these other people. But I mean, there are other ways you can become a member of Rotary or go to other networking events. So you surround yourself with successful people and people that are maybe smarter than you. And this is also what the really successful people do always, to learn and enhance and stretch their mind and stretch their comfort zone, getting out of their comfort zone they have so far. Number 5. Talk about your new ideas. I also said this before on the podcast. It's not about collecting information only and collecting books on your shelves. It's about implementing what you have learned and also maybe teaching other people, transforming what you learned, and really do something with your knowledge, because implementation is the magic key to get the magic results, actually. And while you are doing this, so I always notice this when I'm teaching magic, what I just returned from today, that I learn something on an even deeper level, because it's different to just read something, understand it, and then giving this output and really explaining it, what's happening. And you will get asked a lot of questions, and this brings you even deeper into the process, and you maybe take on a completely new perspective. So try this out. Number 6, reduce social media. It's really easy to get trapped into social media, into your latest feed and seeing all these nice pictures and videos and what's going on. But with that, it's like your rational mind really turns off and you get into this kind of hypnotic state where you're just laying or sitting there, staring at your screen and taking in all this information that maybe most of the time is not really useful and doesn't bring you really further. The opposite would be to do this term called deep work, meaning really working highly concentrated on one thing, this deep work. So this is the best thing you can do to become really successful and also be one step at least ahead of the competition. Number 7. Take care of your body. This means working out. And I read this very often, that the best time to work out is actually in the morning. And this is true. That reminds us to, at tip number 1, to get more oxygen in your body and feeling more vital. So some years ago, I always loved to be in the gym around midnight, because this is my time when I'm creative, and normally it's really not that crowded at that time and it's dark outside and it's kind of cool to go into the sauna afterwards and then go to sleep. But it's true. So when I work out in the morning, what I did actually today with the vibrational workout, the power plates, where you can check this episode from last week if you like, and then also did a functional workout afterwards. And I was so much more productive and really felt good and high energy, high frequency. So this is something that's definitely working. And you can also go for a run when you are living on the beach. It's pretty cool to go out and do your run before you go to your office or your desk or start your next project. And of course, it has to do with staying hydrated, so drink a lot of water. This is also important for our brain, because I'm sure you notice that when you don't drink enough, you get a headache very well. So stay hydrated and eat some clean and good nutrition. So listen to your body, what it needs. And then also the third part here is to rest. So see that you sleep well and not too short, to wake up really fully refreshed, energized with full batteries, to be able to absorb new information and bring your best to work, to entrepreneurship, or whatever is on your mind right now. So, number 8, deep cleaning. This means it is easier when you have a clean environment and a clean desk to enhance your productivity, because it releases the stress you feel while not finding something you are looking for. And it also helps your mind to stay concentrated and not being distracted by a lot of things that might lay around. So keep that in mind as well. And finally, number 9, dress well to perform better. Very interesting thing. There are scientific studies to that it improves your performance when you are dressed more elegant and feel good. And maybe you noticed this already in the past when you got some new clothes and went out and you really felt good in it. So you knew exactly that you were looking good, and you kind of radiated that out. And just for yourself, it pushed your self-esteem and your self-worth. So this is a cool trick, and this is why they tell students for exam dates that they should dress up. And I know this also from my colleagues, and I prefer to do this as well whenever I have a stage show or perform close-up magic or do another kind of performance. I change my clothes. Even when I wear nice clothes, I just change them before I go on stage. Everything until even the socks. So just everything. And I know from a colleague who is performing in New York, and he has his own show there, that he wears for every show a $4,000 suit. And suit, I hope I pronounce it correctly. So I'm always struggling with this word. I don't mean the hotel suite, And he said that it's a tremendous difference in his mind, and he feels so much better while wearing this really worthy clothes. So try it out. Maybe you get a new shirt or whatever comes to your mind, a new jeans that is really looking good, and you will notice something improving in your mental skills and also your overall productivity. And back to the movie Limitless, also you see after Bradley took the magic pill that he decides, after cleaning up his flat, that he needs some new clothes, and he gets them measured for himself perfectly. And there's a complete shift in his appearance, and also how he is networking, how he's communicating, everything. So there really must be a connection with that. So I hope these 9 tips were quite helpful for you. Just a quick summary. Number 1, get more oxygen. Number 2, learn a lot. Number 3, start to meditate. Number 4, surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Number 5, talk about your new ideas. Number 6, reduce social media. Number 7, take care of your body. Number 8, deep cleaning. Number 9, dress up. That's it for today. I hope you gained some great inspiration out of this. If you did, please leave a comment for this episode or like it, or as I said, share it. That would be great. And I also mentioned there will be 2 links in the show notes where you can check out these supplements to enhance your brain power. Just try it out if you like. They are not really expensive, and I think it's like getting your vitamins, just something you can try. So what should you lose with it? Try it out. That's it for today. And as you know, on Friday, we will have Interview Friday with another amazing guest in the show. Until then, create some magic.